Elsewhere in Gauteng, residents of Westbury, that's in Johannesburg, have also been protesting today. It's another protest related to water shortages. Earlier, tensions flared as police fired rubber bullets to try and disperse the crowds. SABC News reporter Elrees Mashaba live on the scene for us. Elrees, this evening, two things to start. What is going on in Westbury currently, but also why don't the people of Westbury have water?
Good evening, Tembekile, and good evening to the viewers. So residents regrouped. What happened is we were here earlier this evening or this afternoon, and protests seemed to die down and dwindle down. But at around 5 o'clock, there was a regrouping of residents and roads have been blocked off again, barricaded with rocks and burning tires. And these residents are saying that they will continue until they get water. They vowed to continue tomorrow as well. Let me just tell you what happened a bit earlier in the day. So these residents are saying that they wanted to protest peacefully, and they were protesting peacefully until police started firing rubber bullets at them. So the point that police started firing rubber bullets, that's when the community came out in their numbers to support the protests that were happening. They are saying that they have not had water, consistent water supply for the past 8 years almost. They are saying that after they protested 2 weeks ago, it seemed to get better, but this happened just for a couple of days, and now they're back to water throttling. According to the residents, they get water for a few hours a day from midnight until 4 a.m. in the morning. That's the only time they get water. And they are saying they're tired of it right now. So what happened is, as the community members regrouped, police then started firing rubber bullets at them again earlier, just about a kilometer down the road from where we are. So there was hope as some of the roads opened, and some people thought that traffic won't be affected. Some cars passed through, but some cars were damaged by the rocks in the road. And as the cars tried to pass through, communities would put rocks back in front of them. It is a frustrating situation, the residents say, for them, because they couldn't understand why after a protest they had water for 5 days, and now they're back to no water again, absolutely no water, not even midnight to 4 a.m. for almost 5 days as well. So this is why they're saying that's why they came to the street. I do have with me community member Berenice Walji rather, and we're going to speak to her. But before we speak to Berenice, I just want to show you. So we have a lot of traffic behind me coming down out of Brixton on Main Road, but the minute it hits the part where Fuel Road crosses, where you go into Westbury and Soweto, that part of the road is cordoned off. And I'm just going to step out of shot so that my colleague can show you, pan to show you that yes, there are some traffic and some cars there. But if you come to the other side to my right, it is absolutely quiet. The roads are closed off, and cars who do try to go through do get damaged because people, residents and protesters are not removing rocks. Here we see one lone car coming through, but we had incidents like that where cars came through that were damaged. I'm going to speak to Berenice Walji again just to bring us into the picture of why the residents actually came out to protest today. Good evening, Berenice.
Good evening to you and good evening to your viewers. The last time we had a strike, we were told that we would have water within 10 hours, which never happened. The lower part of Westbury and other areas had water, but us since that time, we haven't had water. Us and Coronationville, all the upper lying areas, we don't get water, and that's why the people came out. I mean, I'm a chronic patient. I use chronic medication. I can't drink my medication because there's certain medications like for water retention that I have to take. Unfortunately, now I can't take it. You have to get up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock to fill up your buckets. I mean, it's unfair. It's extremely unfair. And the police shooting at innocent people, that's a no-no, honestly, in my book. Because the people didn't do anything. We didn't provoke them this morning. They weren't provoked when they started shooting people.
Thank you, Berenice. So, Tembekile, what happened is 5 protesters suffered rubber bullet shots, an 81-year-old man among them and a 14-year-old, but they are all fine. Tembekile, back to you in studio.
Elrees, just very quickly, we're looking now at the gridlock traffic behind you. One section of the road, as you're saying, approaching or between Brixton, Westbury and Soweto still closed. Is the indication now from Westbury residents that they will continue this well into the night, or do we expect them to call it off and perhaps regroup in the morning?
So earlier on, they said that they'll regroup now during peak traffic. And the expectation is once peak traffic is over, it will stop. But they did say they'll continue again tomorrow, and they will continue until they have water in their taps.
And what official response, if any, has there been to the situation in Westbury? Has anyone from the city, for instance, Elrees, been out there to speak to the residents or at least try?
No, Tembekile. So we had no officials coming out through to Westbury. And the community members were saying that what they're looking for and what they are waiting for is for officials to come to address them. They did wait for the local councillor who did not pitch. And they are saying that they will continue until if the Premier has to come. Now we know that Premier Panyaza Lesufi said infrastructure damage and illegal connections are some of the reasons that water is not being supplied to the community. Interestingly, community members said to us that they do understand the reason that they're not getting water is water tankers get around 3,000 Rand a pop to come into the community to deliver water. They do also complain that there are elderly who cannot get to the water tankers on time, and these people never get water. So what you have is younger people in the community would then go fill buckets of water and then sell it to these senior citizens who cannot afford, who cannot go to get water from the water tankers on time. So there's quite a myriad of issues. The community was also up in arms because while the police were here, and it's the public order police who are here, while the police were here, there was an incident where live ammunition was fired. But not at a protest, just about a kilometer from where the police are. So they are saying that the police could be there, but the police could not even attend to this incident of gang violence. And they are complaining that when they are protesting for water, the police come out in their numbers. But when they have a community that's plagued with gang violence and gangsterism and drugs, and then they'll have their family members laying on the road for like 5 hours after they've been shot before the police pitch. Tembekile.
Elrees, Mashaba, thank you so much for that. Elrees reporting from Westbury here in Johannesburg, where there's been another protest to do with disrupted water supply. In fact, a lack of water supply, according to some residents, saying they only get it in the wee hours of the morning, if you will.